In this video for the Beacon Hill Dollhouse construction, I'm going to discuss the third floor interior. Once the core house was constructed, I turned my attention to the interior. Since I had primed all the wall surfaces, the interior started out yellow. The exposed wires are to be used for electrical light fixtures. I have another video discussing the wallpaper planning, but I decided to only paper the back walls of each room and found a neutral paint to tie all the rooms together. The first wallpaper that I committed to was for the third floor bedroom. So I started with that room and completed the other rooms on the third floor in the initial phase of the interior. The wallpaper was printed on a lightweight cardstock and was treated with Mod Podge to strengthen and protect the paper from discoloration. I used the matte finish Mod Podge, but this still left a shiny finish. I purchased a sample version of the eggshell pale blue paint, and this was sufficient to coat all the interior surfaces of the house. The third floor bedroom walls were painted except for the back wall. Next, the wallpaper was glued to the back wall using a generous coating of glue stick, and poster tack helped to hold this in place. This was installed as two pieces, one for the back wall and another for the corner bump out. As a note, I did not use the poster tack in any other rooms. Each room was a learning process, and I discovered what worked as I progressed in the construction. After the wallpaper and paint, the trim molding for the arched windows and fireplace were installed. In addition, I fashioned an interior window well treatment made from a plastic binder that was cut to fit the window well and painted in semi-gloss white. This smoothed out the rough areas of the window construction. Next, the door hinges were glued to the wall, and the door trim was attached to frame the door. I used a miter saw to cut the crown and baseboard moldings. For the most part, I did little measurements for the cuts. Generally, I could place the trim in the area and mark the location of the cut. The baseboard trim was created from thin balsa wood strips, and the crown molding used small trim found in the local home store. These were spray painted in white. The same pale blue paint was used for the walls in the other rooms on the third floor, which would be exposed. The wallpaper was glued to the back walls of these rooms with glue stick, and poster tack was not utilized. The electrical wire was pulled through the paper as needed. The window trim, baseboard, and crown moldings were then installed in the sitting room. This did a nice job of hiding the gaps between the wall and the floor. This was also the point I decided to use the painted skewer along the top edge of the baseboard to add an additional detail. I accidentally pulled out one of the electrical wires from the wall, so instead of attaching an electrical light, I will have to use a battery-operated light. The door trim for the window was installed in the hall landing. In addition, a complementary wallpaper border was installed. Crown molding was included around the perimeter of the tower where the tower roof would intersect and rest on the walls. The paneling is discussed in another video, but this is installed next to the stairs and the opposite wall in the hall. Electrical sconce lights were installed on either side of the tower window. A battery light was installed in the tower and additional trim molding around the tower opening. The light was strategically placed for the illumination to be visible from the outside window. A battery light fixture was installed in the third floor bedroom even though electrical was run. I accidentally ordered several battery fixtures instead of the electrically operated ones. The electric fireplace logs were also connected, and a battery operated light fixture was installed in the sitting room. The second and first floor interiors will be discussed in other videos. Thanks for watching.